Hi everyone, my name's Steve Livingston. I'm the founder of IP Tax Solutions. We advise companies mainly in the digital, creative and technology space. I've just wanted to give you a quick heads up on the budget 2014. It's March 19th today. It's just gone 3 o'clock, so we're not too far after the budget statement, after George Osborne just sat down. But I want to give you a quick heads up on what's happened in terms of some of the key factors. One of the big surprises in there was around pensions. Big relaxation around pensions. I'm not going to go into that today because there's a lot to digest. I just want to give you some core points that have come out which may well be relevant to you. So first of all, personal allowance. As expected, we have the £10,000 personal allowance for this tax year coming in, so 6th of April 2014, increases from £9,440 to £10,000. But we're also going to see an increase to £10,500 from next year, which is good news. And we're also now going to see some benefits coming in for higher rate taxpayers, because what's been happening over recent years is even though the personal tax allowance has been going up, there's been a corresponding reduction in the higher rate band to stop higher rate taxpayers from benefiting from that increase. But we're now going to see it going up again so that higher rate taxpayers can actually get some benefit here, which is good news. Moving on, again, with a link between personal tax and also a bit of corporate tax as well. Seed Enterprise Investment Scheme has been a great success. We do a lot of work in this area, and what it aims to do is encourage investment into early stage companies. So companies issuing shares, and they've got to have been trading for less than 2 years. That's kind of the earliness of it, hence the seed in the title. Been a great success. Scheduled to finish in 2017, but now going to be carry on indefinitely, which is good news. And also, I'm just give you a bit more background on how it works. We all have a £100,000 seed enterprise investment allowance, and within that, if you invest in a qualifying company, generally an unquoted trading company, you can get 50% income tax relief on the way in. Also, if you incur a capital gains liability in the year, you can have, if you invest into a seed enterprise investment scheme like this, you can claim 50% of that capital gains tax can be wiped out, eliminated. So if you add up 50% of your income tax relief and also think about 28% capital gains tax liability that you would have suffered, half of that, 50%, is 14%. So 64% tax relief on the way in, and potential for more if it did actually fail. So your downside risk is roughly around 13.5%. If all goes swimmingly well, which we hope it does, then you have no capital gains tax as an investor on the way out. So really, really beneficial. And it's been a great source of funding for companies, so it's great to see that in place. The enterprise investment scheme, the sort of big brother, is still there, and a lot of companies follow on with it afterwards, which works really, really well. Especially well if you can combine it with this, the R&D tax credit. Again, another core piece of our work. So how this works, what's been available is for SMEs, large companies as well, but SMEs can, if they have a loss in the year, they can reclaim a tax payable element. So rather than just having an enhancement to the loss, they can elect to surrender that loss in return for a payment. The effective rate of the payment at the moment is 11%, but for expenditure that's incurred from 1st of April 2014, it would increase to 14.5%. So big increase there, really great for companies, SMEs, and again, the threshold for SMEs is pretty huge here. So you look at companies with less than 500 employees, and either a balance sheet total of less than 86 million euros or turnover of less than 100 million euros. So a lot of companies are covered here within the SME scheme. So if you haven't looked at it, it covers pretty much all company types. Just need to be solving or seeking to solve some sort of technological uncertainty, some sort of technical advance. And then if you're looking at 14.5%, you're kind of then thinking, right, well, if you qualifying spend before you apply the enhancement, it's roughly a third. You'll be getting cash back, a third of it is cash back, so massively beneficial, and great news there. In terms of incurring just capital expenditure, they're looking to encourage companies to reinvest. So annual investment allowance has been this pool whereby which if you incur expenditure on your computer equipment, furniture, desks, anything really which isn't cars or buildings, you could write it off in year one against tax. Now governments have kind of tinkered with this year on year. It was up to £50,000, down to £25,000, went up to £250,000 more recently. So that's where we are at the moment. That was due to finish at the end of this year. But what they're looking to do now is not only extend it, but increase it to £250,000, so increase it to £500,000, so doubling it. Which is great news. So I think £500,000 of capex will cover most expenditure for most companies in a year. There's going to be a bit of messing around to be done. They give a lot of notes here around the phasing of it. So if you imagine, because it applies to expenditure incurred after 1st of April 2014 for companies, 6th of April for individuals or partnerships, you've got this kind of pro-rating to do. So if you imagine you've got a 31st of December year end, you've got to say, right, okay, for the first 3 months of this, I'm going to get 3/12 of £250,000, and for the 9 months remaining, I'm going to get 9/12 of £500,000. So that's kind of how they're showing you how you do it, and you can see that you end up with the 31st of December year end 2014. You're looking at about £437,500 worth of relief there. So that kind of covers what I wanted to cover. Those are the core things that have come out so far. No doubt more bits and bobs will sort of wheedle their way out over the coming days and weeks. I'll provide updates as and when, but hopefully that gives you a heads up on the core things that have come out of the March budget. My name's Steve Livingston. Thanks for watching.